So Samurai Jack Season 5 ended a couple of weeks ago, so it's finally time for me to put my 2 cents on it. In this revived iteration of the show, 50 years have passed since Jack came to the future. And even though he's been there for that long, he hasn't aged at all. And there's this cult of women who worship Aku, and they have birthed daughters who they claim to be the daughters of Aku. Their entire life's purpose is to destroy the samurai. That's the basic premise of this revived season without spoiling anything. The old show, while very episodic, it still had this overarching story of Jack trying to get back to the past. While in Season 5, it's a 10-episode story arc concluding the story. I'm glad it was brought back now when widescreen is the standard, because the show beforehand was also very cinematic and would actually go to widescreen in a 4x3 screen. So now watching the original show on a widescreen monitor is kind of weird because it goes 4x3, but then when it goes widescreen it gets even smaller. So I'm glad that Season 5 is widescreen entirely. There are still some moments where it goes super widescreen, like in a film. The first few episodes probably feel the most cinematic out of all of them. And there's even a reference to Ecstasy of Gold from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Those early episodes where the daughters are chasing Jack have these really great moments of tension. This season also gets a lot more violent than previous seasons because this is on Adult Swim. Almost everything that Jack fought in the original show were robots, so that way they could get away with him slicing them in all these different ways. But in this, there is actual blood, and it's kinda cool to see with this style of a show. There's a ton of things that they got right with this season. They got the creator of the show, Genndy, to come back. They got the character right, and actually improved him a little bit, I think. He seems much more relatable and human in this season. Aku, I think they got right with the humorous villain, but Greg Baldwin, he tried his best to do Aku's voice, but I don't think anything can beat the original voice. But one of the most important things they got right was the look and feel of the show, especially the colors. The original show was very stylized and had these beautiful color palettes, and it looks like that here, and just in widescreen, and it's beautiful. I love it. You know what show didn't get this treatment? The Powerpuff Girls reboot! Yes, I'm still salty about that. So after this Season 5 of Samurai Jack ended, and some people were upset, just because the ending wasn't exactly what they wanted, when they were so excited in the beginning when it was airing for the first few episodes, and then after it ends, saying that the whole thing sucked. You guys are lucky to get a revival as good as this is. I'm not saying you have to like the ending if you genuinely didn't like it, but overall, before I get into spoilers, I think that this series had a lot of heart put into it. So here are some thoughts on the spoilers. If you don't want to hear this, just close the video now. There's not going to be too much more. So waiting for a few seconds. 1, 2, 3, spoilers. So the relationship that Jack has with Ashi, I honestly kinda saw it coming. I don't know how it wasn't obvious to other people. A lot of people wanted a father-daughter relationship rather than a man and woman, but I honestly thought they handled it just fine. Now for the ending, a lot of people are calling it rushed. I don't think it's rushed too much. It was fun, I think. I do have a gripe about Ashi not disappearing immediately, because if that would have happened, we wouldn't have this drag on with them going to a wedding and then her disappearing suddenly. But other than that, I thought it was fine. And the ending with Jack and the ladybug and by the cherry blossom tree, I think it is, I thought that was beautiful. And just the silence he has. So I thought that ending was pretty great as far as an ending shot goes. As far as how I feel about the Season 5 revival in general, considering everything they did, like bringing the creator back, the feel of the characters, the look of the show, everything like that, I thought it was great. It could have been much, much, much worse. Believe me, you Samurai Jack fans got the best thing you could have gotten. As someone whose favorite cartoon is the Powerpuff Girls, I'm very happy for you. So if you have seen Season 5 of Samurai Jack, tell me down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to save.